Why God tests us. In Genesis 12, Abraham begins his journey with God. 10 chapters later, God tests him in Genesis 22, saying, "Take your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and offer him as an offering on a mountain I will show you." Abraham obeys without hesitation. This moment marks a pivotal season of preparation and destiny. God's testing often precedes greatness. It refines us in three key areas: integrity and trust. Will you remain faithful and honest when no one is watching? Patience. God stretches your faith, delaying outcomes to build resilience. Humility. Tests often humble you, bringing you to a place of complete reliance on Him. Abraham's obedience was not just about Isaac, but about his readiness to trust God entirely. Similarly, the tests we face are not random. They prepare us for the weight of greatness. Often, the test of destiny will feel uncomfortable. God may humble you through tasks that seem beneath your potential. You may face moments of obscurity or seasons where your gifts are unnoticed. Yet, these are the times God uses to shape your character and align your heart with His will. The process of greatness demands surrender. It may involve seasons of serving in silence, enduring delays, or walking through obscurity. But God uses these moments to develop the maturity needed for the calling He has for you. If you are in a season of testing, remain steadfast. Trust that God is preparing you for something greater. Embrace the process. Remember, greatness is not achieved without testing. Trust God through the pain and let His refining process prepare you for the destiny ahead. The Bible is clear that God can initiate tests in our lives, but He never tempts us. A test is a challenging situation that makes you choose whether to follow God or turn away from Him. A temptation, on the other hand, entices you to sin. And according to 1 Corinthians 10:13, while God allows temptation, He doesn't cause it. James 1:13-15 reinforces this, stating that God never tempts anyone to sin. Increase joy in faith during trials. One sign that God is testing you is if a difficult situation leads you to rejoice in your faith. When you face trials and still find joy because of the faith God has given you, it's a sign of divine testing. 1 Peter 1:6-7 explains, "In this you greatly rejoice, though now for a little while you may have had to suffer grief in all kinds of trials. These have come so that your faith may be proved genuine." Trials can deepen your appreciation for God and strengthen your faith in Him. Awareness of your lack of faith. Another sign of God's testing is when a trial reveals your own deficiencies in faith. God doesn't test us to learn something about us. He already knows everything. Instead, He tests us so we can become aware of our own spiritual condition. For example, in John 6:5-6, Jesus tests Philip by asking him how to feed a large crowd, not because Jesus needed to know the answer, but to reveal Philip's lack of faith. Similarly, trials in our lives can expose areas where our faith needs growth, opportunities to trust God and reap rewards. Third sign that God is testing you is if a difficult trial offers you the chance to trust Him and earn eternal rewards. God allows hard things to happen not because He doesn't love us, but because He wants what's best for us in the long run. The story of Abraham being asked to sacrifice Isaac in Genesis 22 demonstrates this. God tested Abraham to give him the opportunity to trust Him, which led to great blessings. James 1:12 states, "Blessed is the man who perseveres under trial, because when he has stood the test, he will receive the crown of life that God has promised to those who love Him."